Hey, what's up guys, it's Eastax here, finally coming to you with my Futures Past opening video. Sorry about the delay on this one, guys, between school, work, life, and running Quarantine Cup 2. It's just been crazy. But we're finally going to get to open this. I also have Freedom Force here, so you're going to get a 2-for-1 today. I am excited to open this box, although I have mixed feelings about this box. So at the end, after I go through all the cards, I'll give an honest review of this. Because I feel like these videos exist for new players who are trying to decide what they need to get, which products are the best ones, and that's kind of a mixed bag in my opinion. But I am excited to play with these cards, don't get me wrong. Okay, so it is Futures Past. We're in the Omega level arc. I love the look of this box. Actually, I've been a downer on some of their boxes lately, and I think the Freedom Force one is inferior to this one. I just think this artwork it's much more dynamic. It lends itself to a box art better than some of the ones they choose, because it's got like the X-Men down here, and it's a cooler kind of action shot as opposed to like what they usually do, which is this, where it's just like two characters standing there. I like this one a lot better. All right, so the first issue of the Omega level story arc expands on the ever-popular roster of X-Men characters for your Versus System 2 PCG deck, and brings with it the torturous tension of the merciless hunt for mutants by the seemingly unstoppable robotic Sentinels. Will the Sentinels rid your deck of all mutants, or will, unfocus for a second, or will powerful heroes like Kitty Pryde and Logan win the day? So obviously, as it says there, we're finally getting Sentinels in the game, which is something people, especially old Versus players, have been wanting for a while. Do they live up to the hype, or what people have been hoping that they would be in the game? Well, we'll get to that. All right, so here's the rule sheet. I don't go over the rule sheets, but I will hover over them so that if you would like to look at it, you could pause and do so. Okay, so if you guys want to take up the rule sheet, you can go ahead. All right, let's get into these. So right off the bat, we have a highlight card from the set here. We have Kate Pryde, main character. She's an X-Men. She's a 6/6/5. She's AKA Shadowcat, and she has Future. After you draw your hand at the start of the game, put the top 3 cards of your deck into your resource row face down. If any other locations, you may play them face up instead. So you're going to start the game on turn 4, because you start with 3 locations, or 3 resources, and then you get to play one. So you're starting on turn 4, which is insane. Her level up condition is passed, level up 10. At the end of your turn, Kate gains 1 XP for each resource on your side. When she levels up, KO each resource on your side. So you're going to start ahead, but if you level up, you're going to lose everything that you have. So then at level 2, she's her younger self now. So she's 4/3/5 health. She's AKA Shadowcat, and she has phasing. Main blue, Kitty has stealth and can't be struck in combat this turn. First of all, I love the classic artwork from like the classic storyline in this, so I really like that. I love the Days of Future Past story arc. But the level 1 here is the highlight. There are really cool things you can do with this. We're right now seeing this card do really, really well in the Quarantine Cup in the 5 life format, the Life's Too Short format. Because you can do really, really aggro stuff with this. By starting ahead, you can be really aggressive and really get in there on your opponent early on. Or you can do combo stuff with this. You can do stuff like Senator Kelly. We haven't seen it in 5 life, obviously, but I'm sure you could do Prowler Maximus early by taking advantage of this. So it's the level 1 that's really crucial. Starting ahead, getting your combo off early, or getting your aggro stuff off early. And I think this level 2 is really unimportant, honestly. If anything, you don't ever want to get here because you lose your resources. So if you can somehow stun yourself, or go face down, or remove from the game, or something that can keep you at level 1 so you don't lose those resources is really important. But of all the main characters, I would say this is the main character of this box. She is the main character of this box. This card is great. And not to mention the gross stuff that you can do with this with Mimic, which I'm not even going to touch on because I I hate that card. I'm tired of Mimic. Burn all copies of Mimic. Alright, here is Logan, level 4 and 5, which is a really cool design, but I also have some other thoughts on it. So Logan, level 4 here. He's an 11-9, 6 health X-Men. He has alternate timeline. Level 3 Wolverines on your side may level up into this character. While this is in your level up pile, level 3 Wolverines on your side have. Not nice in any timeline. Level up 1. When Wolverine stuns an enemy defender while solo attacking, he gains an XP. So that's the same kind of level up condition that Wolverine always has. And then he has Snicked again, which is any turn combat. Logan gets +3 attack this combat. And then he has the Fight of Our Lives in a Dark Future. When a resource appears on your side, if there are 10 or more resources on your side, Logan gains an XP. So you gotta go really late into the game to be able to do that. And then we get our first ever level 5 main character in the game. It does seem fitting to me that our first ever level 5 main character would be Logan, who is like this immortal guy who's fought through multiple wars and stuff in multiple different timelines, and we've seen future versions of him in various versions, and there's Old Man Logan and stuff like that. It does seem fitting. So level 5 Logan is a 14-12. He still has Snicked. He's got 7 life now, and he has Berserker Age. Combat Green, so that's on your turn only. When Logan stuns an enemy character this combat, wound it in extra time, he can use this power any number of times on your turn. So, stuns an enemy character this combat, yeah, so like, you can use it any number of times per turn, so if you like X-Factor him and ready him, you can wound things more times and stuff like that. Honest thoughts on this guy, it's a waste of a slot, if I'm being totally honest. I don't think Wolverine needed this. Wolverine is an aggro main character. He wants to get you every turn. He wants the game to be over early. He doesn't want to go to 10 resources. I also think it was a wasted opportunity to just make a new Logan main character, a level 1 and a level 2 Logan main character, which is what I was really hoping to see with some kind of new Logan main character. I like the design of this. I think it's clever. I think it's cool. I also think that they'll never see play. It's my honest thoughts on that card. So go ahead and leave your comment telling me I'm too negative. I love it. Thanks for go ahead and leave that dislike if you want to. YouTube algorithm treats it all the same, so thanks for that. This is a really good card though. So Rachel Summers is a 2/4 flight range, 5 health X-Men character. She is powerful heritage. You can also power up Rachel with characters with the card title Phoenix and Dark Phoenix. Card title is the literal name that's printed on the line. It doesn't include AKAs. Born from the Phoenix Force, level 3. When you power up Rachel with a character with each of the following card titles for the first time in this game, she gains an XP. Phoenix, Dark Phoenix, and Rachel Summers. So you want to hit a Phoenix, Dark Phoenix, and a Rachel Summers, level or power her up, and then she gets to level 2, where she is a 6/6 flight range, 5 health. She's bound to the Phoenix Force. You may discard characters with the card titles Phoenix and Dark Phoenix to generate power symbols for one of Rachel's superpowers. So that's really cool. Phoenix and Dark Phoenix can pay for her powers here. So she has Daughter of the Phoenix. Rachel has each different printed yellow superpower from every existing character with the card title Phoenix and Dark Phoenix. So another card that doesn't really tell you everything what it does on the card, but it's kind of fine with this one because you kind of have to design it that way, because she could potentially get better with more and more Phoenix and Dark Phoenix characters if any more of those cards get released. But right now she has the psionic protection thing, or the Psi Shield. That's the one where she can cancel combats. She can ramp with the Dark Phoenix one. She can heal wounds on supporting characters, I believe. So this card's kind of cool. I don't know that you play this over Dark Phoenix main character for the ramp, but it also is a ramp character that can play the Dark Phoenix supporting character, right? Because you can use the Dark Phoenix main character's ramp power, but she's not Dark Phoenix, so you can ramp to 9 and play Dark Phoenix. So that is kind of a cool element of this. So I do like her. So far, I like Kate Pryde. I'm a downer on Wolverine, if I'm being totally honest with you. And I like Rachel Summers. Let's get into these Sentinel guys, though, because I have thoughts here. So we have Nimrod, level 1. He's a 0/5/6. He's passive, so he can't attack or strike back. He's a Sentinel character, by the way. His regeneration, at the start of your turn, heal a wound from Nimrod. Then he has Infiltrating Project Nimrod, level up 10. When an enemy supporting character is recruited, Nimrod gains XP equal to its cost. So let's see here. On your opponent's turn 1, you'll gain 1 XP, and then 2 on their turn 2, and then like 3 on their turn 3, and then 4 on their turn 4, is that 10 or 9 or 10? So you're taking 4 turns to level up with this. Seems slow to me. What does he do? So level 2, he's now a flight range, 8/8, 6 health guy. He has enemy power analysis, reaction yellow. When Nimrod is attacked by an enemy character with any of the following, he gains their respective powers while attacking for the rest of the game. So if he's hit with flight, he has air superiority. That's the one where he can't be struck by other people with flying. If it's range, he has bulletproof, can't be struck by range people. +1/+1 counters. Defenders don't get attack and defense gains from +1 counters. That one's good. Keyword text. Defenders lose and can't gain keyword text. That's great. Superpowers. Defenders can't use superpowers. So this card is cool. The problem with these Sentinel main characters is, spoiler alert, they don't have a wild location. They're the only team in the game thus far that doesn't have a wild location. So right off the bat, that hits the playability here. I also think this level up's too slow, but I will say I like this level 2 a lot. I think the level 2 is great. We have Sentinel himself, 3/3, 5 health, Sentinel main character. Adaptation programming, main, green-red. This Sentinel gains range for the rest of the game. Learning machine, level up 3. At the end of your turn, the Sentinel gains an XP. So he doesn't start with range, you have to give it to him. And then at level 2, he's a 6 health now. He's got 5/5, and he has adaptation programming again, but this time it's blue-yellow. The Sentinel gains flight for the rest of the game. And then level up 2, at the end of your turn, Sentinel gains an XP. And then finally, at level 3, you finally get to do some stuff. He is a 7/7, 7 health. Programming complete. While the Sentinel has flight, it has +5/+5 while in combat with at least one enemy character with flight. While the Sentinel has range, it has +5/+5 while in combat with at least one enemy character with range. So if the character he's fighting meets both those requirements, he gets both. So he gets +10/+10, which is crazy cool. The problem with this, and I'll just go ahead and get into this now, this is a main character with all 4 colors printed on him. Red, green, yellow, blue, and his team has no wild location. So you have to draw a natural red, green, yellow, blue before you get to level 3 in order to get the full value off of him. Awful. I don't know why they made a team with no wild locations. Anyways, okay, so the supporting characters are in a weird order. Looks like we're doing X-Men first, and then... Okay, it's fine. So here's the Rachel Summers supporting character. I think this card's awful. 5 cost, 5/10, flight range, 2 health. Future past. Rachel can't appear on your side unless Cyclops and Phoenix are on your side. So the only Phoenix characters we have are a 7 cost and a 9 cost in Phoenix and Dark Phoenix. And the only Cyclops supporting character we have is the X-Men 2-drop. I don't think there is a Cyclops supporting character on Resistance. I feel like I would remember that. So you have to play a bad 2-drop and then get a 7 or an 8 or 7 or a 9 drop out plus your terrible 2-drop Cyclops to be able to ring this out, which is a shame because her other power is pretty cool. Exchange consciousness. When another supporting character on your side gets attacked, you may put a character with the same name from your hand onto your side next to it, as long as one of them is Brotherhood, Resistance, or X-Men. If you do, KO the first supporting character and cancel the combat. So I like that. It's pretty neat. Until we get like a more playable Cyclops, I think this is completely and utterly impractical. I think it never, ever, ever comes out because that 2-drop Cyclops on the X-Men team is so bad. This is a really cool, interesting card that I wish was worded a little differently, I guess. So 6 cost Logan is a 12/8, 3 health X-Men. He has Future Past. Logan can't appear on your side unless there are at least 5 Brotherhood, Resistance, and or X-Men supporting characters in your KO pile. So you do have to do some setup for this, which is a little bit rough. But he's really, really well statted for a 6 cost. So if you can do that, he's very well statted for a 6 cost, and he's got 3 health, so that's good. Canadian Resistance Colonel. You may recruit Brotherhood, Resistance, and X-Men characters without revealing them. Characters you recruit this way appear on your side hidden. When a Brotherhood, Resistance, or X-Men character appears on your side hidden, it may attack while hidden this turn. I'll be honest, I don't remember exactly how this works because, again, this is a card that doesn't fully tell you on the card what it does. But basically, they come in hidden, they can attack while hidden, and then your opponent doesn't really know what's happening in order to respond until you're about to strike where you flip it. And usually, once you flip and it's about to strike, it's too late for them to really respond. So it's kind of a neat way to make some sneaky attacks. I do like this card. I was really down on this card in my spoiler review. It's just, I think it's like kind of funky and cute, and it's going to be a pain in tournament play to like call a judge over every time, because you're recruiting things face down, and then like your opponent has to know that you're making a legal play. So I would, if my opponent plays this and brings the card in face down, I'm always calling a judge over to confirm that it's a legal card. But I mean, in kitchen table, obviously that doesn't matter. He's really well statted for a 6 cost, so he's got that going for him big time. All right, let's get into these Sentinel guys here finally. So we have 8 of this Sentinel and 8 of this Sentinel. So 16 slots are taken up by these 1 cost guys. So we have Sentinel here, 1 cost, 1/1, flight range, 1 health, 1 of a kind, and Swarm. Alpha combat unit self-replicating. When this card appears, put a +1/+1 counter on it for each alpha combat unit in your KO pile. So all other copies of this kind of Sentinel. And then alpha combat unit learning program. This character has Berserker and the keyword powers from each alpha combat unit's learning program in your KO pile. Okay, so they always have the one that they have, and they also copy the ones from your KO pile. So this one is Berserker. We have Dodge. Hang on, sorry. Let me explain. So Berserker is, so this one has Berserker. So characters, when your characters attack, they get a +1 counter. This one has Dodge, so they can't be range attacked. This one has Fearless, so they strike with double on main characters. This one has Ferocious, so they strike first before non-ferocious people. This one has Leader, so when team attacking, you decide where they strike back. This one has Lethal, so when they wound a character, you KO it. This one has Mobile, so during your turn but not during combat, you can move rows. This one has Violent, so you strike with double on supporting characters. So here's my thing about these guys. They get better as the game goes on. They're strong in the mid-game, and they're good in a main character that can set them up. So I'm thinking things like Valkyrie, who can put them in the KO pile. I'm thinking things like even Newborn, they can put these guys in the KO pile. I'm thinking, what was the other one? Kitty Star-Lord can draw and put these things in KO pile. Other than that, they're kind of underwhelming. I haven't seen them be great yet. They're not good in the early game. They're just little 1/1s, 2/2s, whatever, and they're very low impact. They're really strong in the mid to late game though, mid game particularly. And then we also have this other type of 1 cost Sentinel, 1/1 flight range, Legions and Swarm, and this is executive type self-replicating. When this character appears, put a +1/+1 counter on each for each executive type in your KO pile. These are alpha combat units, so each one of these in your KO pile. So again, requires setup for them to really be valuable. And then executive type learning program. When this character gets KO'd by an enemy attacker, for the rest of the game, attackers with that name can't strike executive type characters on your side. So that's kind of interesting. And again, we have 8 of these guys. So a total of 16 Sentinels. They all have the same name. They all have swarms. You can do cool things with like Queen. That's like the first thing I'm going to try is a Queen deck, because like if you're playing 16 of these in your deck, if you reveal 4 or 5 of these off the top of your deck with the Queen search ability, you get to pick up all of them because they have the same names and they have swarm. My only beef here really is that you're taking up 16 slots in a 55 card box for these guys. But I mean, like, what are you gonna do? I just really wish they wouldn't introduce new teams in 55 card boxes. I really wish, like, you could. I think if they had waited or just done a 200 card box for Futures Past or for this arc in general, Sentinels would have been really well positioned to be introduced in a 200 card box. Introducing a team in a 55 card box is kind of rough, especially when you want to do like a Swarm Legion thing where these guys are taking up 16 slots. And again, I haven't seen these cards blow my mind yet. Their saving grace is that they have amazing support cards that we're going to get into, but I haven't seen them be impactful yet, especially in the early game. They're pretty low impact. But you kind of want to play them just so you can play these cards, which we will touch on soon. Here's a really good card, though. We have Ahab. Probably the best guy on the Sentinel team so far, I would say. We have 2-cost Ahab. He's a Sentinel. He's 3/1 range, 1 health, and he has Release the Hounds. When Ahab appears, put a Hound into your hand. A Hound comes from a separate pile that includes, I believe, 1 Brotherhood, 1 X-Men, and 1 Resistance. You get to put 1 into your hand. They can't share a name with like any characters in your deck, and their team affiliation permanently becomes Sentinel. I wish it would tell you more on the card about what it did. Everybody knows that's a big pet peeve of mine by this point. But this guy's really good to be able to let you kind of pick what you need. It basically says draw a card, but it's a card that you get to pick beforehand. So you can put some really impactful mutants in your hound pile to play this guy. So this guy's really good. Also, can we talk about this artwork for a second? Absolutely killer artwork. Guy looks awesome. Awesome. We have Nimrod, supporting character. He's a 9/7, flight range, 2 health. He has Hunter. So Hunter is the one that he has +3 attack while making. He has +3 attack while attacking. So in this case, he has +9 because he's Hunter. So he attacks with 18. And then he has next generation Sentinel prototype. When Nimrod appears, he may strike an enemy supporting character. Now Hunter only applies when he's making an attack. This is not making an attack, so he would strike somebody with 9. That's still good. Emergency teleport. Shout out to the Yu-Gi-Oh players out there. Reaction blue. When Nimrod gets attacked, you may put him on top of your deck, so you get to get him back. Is this card as good as like other 8-drops we've seen? I don't think so, especially now that we're getting Omegas. But I actually do like this card a lot. I think coming in and striking a guy right away, I think that's actually really impactful. Because so you can come in, hit something for 9 and stun it, and then like he swings for 18 and he's got 2 health and flight and range. I actually like this card a lot. I don't know if that's unpopular. I don't really know what people's thoughts on this card are, but I actually think it's great. It's kind of a shame because we have stuff like Silver Surfer and Omegas now that I don't know if he'll ever see play, but I actually really like that guy. That guy's pretty sweet. Here's a big highlight card here. We have Senator Kelly, 0/2, 1 health, protect the Senator. He's unaffiliated, by the way. At the start of your turn, put a vitality counter on Senator Kelly, which is an extra wound. If he now has 3 or more health, 3 health or more, you win the game. So you bring him out, you have to protect him for 2 turns, vitality counter, another vitality counter, and then you win the game. There are definitely decks that can abuse this. I already talked about Kate Pryde, where you can do this. You can bring him out early. I thought he was a 2 cost, but he's a 3 cost. Yeah, there's definitely legitimate alt-win decks that you can do with that guy, so keep an eye out for him. And then, without question, these are the highlight cards of the box. If you're buying the box, you're buying it for Kate Pryde, or you're buying it for these. So, we have Inhibitor Collar here. Inhibitor Collar is a 1-cost Sentinel affiliated equipment, and it has Mutant Internment Center. Equip the Inhibitor Collar only to an enemy supporting character. The collar can be equipped to and remain equipped to a stun character. Power Neutralizer. The equipped character lose and can't gain powers other than from this card. This power remains on while the character is stunned. So it's a cheaper, albeit team affiliated, but more targeted nullifier. This card is really good. You put it on their guy and it's like permanently nullified. The only way you can get rid of it, really, because they keep it even while they're stunned, so the only way to do it, I guess, is by putting another equipment on the character, or an effect, obviously, that removes equipment. But this card is great, and I think this next card is even better. So the Inhibitor Collar is amazing, and then this card is absolutely insane. We have Mutant Control Act. It's an any turn plot twist, and its reaction. When an enemy player recruits a character, that character loses and can't gain powers this turn. So strong. It hits appears powers. It hits recruit powers. It hits everything. Keywords, superpowers, whatever. It's an out to Dark Phoenix. Very importantly, it's an out to a lot. It's Sentinel team affiliated. These cards here, if the Sentinels see play at all, it will be on the backs of these cards, I think. So I said I would give an honest review. To me, this is one of the more skippable sets in the game. Probably the most skippable set since, I would say, like Brotherhood of Mutants. And here's why. Without a wild location, I really don't think you can play these guys. Someone's going to prove me wrong. Someone's going to tell me that I'm sleeping on these guys. Nimrod, I think, is better, but this guy has all 4 colors on him and no wild location. I would probably be singing a slightly different tune if there was a 4 of wild location for the Sentinels in this box. I can't imagine we'll ever get that because it makes no sense to not include it in this box. Like, if you were going to print a Sentinel location later, just push one of these cards over. Push Logan over into that next set and put the Sentinel Wild in this box. So I don't think we're going to see a Sentinel Wild. And for that reason, I think these cards are... For that reason, I'm out. For that reason, I think you can't play that cards. I like this. I think Logan is a waste of space. I like this. And then these cards are great, right? These Sentinel cards are great. And for that reason, I think you need all these 1 costs, but it's a shame that these 1 costs take up 16 slots in a 55 card box. I think Rachel doesn't do anything other than help the Rachel main character. So this card is kind of just, if you're not playing Rachel main character, this card is also blank. Wolverine's okay. But yeah, I think really you're picking it up for these 12 cards more than anything, and like Senator Kelly and Kate Pryde, and that's about it. So I don't know. I don't really know how to come down on this, because there are important cards in this that, for competitive players, here, let me say this. For competitive players, you need this box, because there's crucial cards in here, mainly the Caller, the Control Act, Ahab, and Kate Pryde. So for competitive players, this box is important. Other than that, if you're a new player, come back to this later down the road, I would say. Unless you're like a big Sentinel guy and you're really excited to play with these 1 costs and stuff, because there are cool things you can do with them. I think it's a shame they took up so many slots, and that because of that, they didn't get a wild location, which leaves these main characters, in my opinion, in unplayable territory. I also will say, though, that this arc, this Omega level arc, gets better and better as it goes. So, to me, this Futures Past box is really middle of the pack as far as... I don't want to get into, like, ranking boxes on, like, a 10-point scale or anything, but, like, this is like a 5, like a 4 or a 5 on a 10-point scale, whereas, like, Futures... We get into like Freedom Force, and I think this is like a 7, 7.5. This is a solid box, and then now we're getting into Omega levels, and the Omega level box is great, insane. Based on everything I've seen so far, that box is a home run. So I wouldn't say that the Omega level arc is a disappointment on the whole, because in the 3 sets we've seen, Futures Past, into Freedom Force, into Omega, the Omegas themselves, the arc is getting better and better with time. So... I'm much more excited to open Freedom Force. I think this is the superior set. I think this set is really, really, really average. And it just feels, because of these 16 cards in here, it feels like you're getting less for the same price, especially because there's no wild location in here, which is really problematic for me. Anyways, I'm talking in circles now. I know somebody's going to tell me I'm being too negative. As they always do. I really don't try to be negative, you guys. I try to just tell you honestly what I think and what I think you should be spending your money on. So if you're a competitive player and you need the Collar and the Mutant Control Act, pick the set up. If you're a casual player who's looking to play fun cards, maybe pick up a few of the older X-Men sets, Utopia Battles and stuff like that first, and then you can come back to this to expand your X-Men collection. I don't see anything wrong with that. There are better, more fun, more bang for your buck X-Men sets out there. I would recommend going to first. Anyways, this has gone much longer than my normal opening videos because of my ramblings and trying to get my thoughts out there as much as I can. So anyways, thanks for watching, you guys, and I'll see you next time.